Welcome to this week's episode of the Relly and Deli podcast. I'm Relly.
And I'm Deli, and today we're going to talk about the drama.
Woo!
Zendaya! What's up, 4 doors? So much drama.
Comedy.
I feel like we got into our stuff really
A24.
early.
No, I think that was pretty good.
Okay.
I feel like we actually have been doing it later.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, because we should be ending at the same time that the key laugh is in there.
Oh.
And that's what we did this time.
Oh. You think so?
100%. But we'll listen to it in post.
We'll fix it. We'll figure it out in post. All right. Figure it out on the way. So, yeah, the drama is a 2026 movie. It is starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And essentially it is a loving couple on their way to their nuptials. And they're doing all the little stuff. Their little wine tasting and their dinner planning and their cake tasting, all that stuff. And a dark secret is revealed. We'll get a little more into that when we get to the story, but I do want to have a couple of tidbits here for you. So this movie is produced and distributed, I guess, by A24, which I love them.
Yes.
I do. Yes, I do. The producers listed are Ari Aster, Lars Knudsen, and Tyler Campelloni. Y'all know I don't be knowing names. It's what I do.
It's what you do.
It's what I do. I don't be knowing names, but these people we do know. Like Ari Aster did, Midsommar,
Right.
Hereditary.
Oh, that makes so much sense for this film. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's just a producer here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Lars Knudsen, I think we know him too. Let me check real quick and see what he got going on.
Lars. Oh,
Lars. Yeah, Begonia.
Dovovich.
Oh yeah, Lvovich. Yeah, Ari Aster.
Hereditary.
Oh yeah, I guess he was a producer there too.
Yeah.
That's the thing, when you're a producer, when you put the movies, it just shows, yeah. But Ari Aster is actually a director as well.
Yeah. So he's actually, Lars Knudsen is a co-founder of Parts and Labor with Jay Van Oy and the co-founder of Square Peg with Ari Aster. So they seem to be
a bit
duo.
of a trio. I mean, maybe even a trio, because Tyler Campelloni, he's credited for Hereditary, Midsommar, and Beau Was Afraid as a producer.
Ridiculous.
So maybe they're a bit of a trio, just running around, doing all the things.
Doing what y'all doing.
Doing all the things. But yeah, the actual director here is Christoph Borgli. I don't know. Yes. I don't know if we know anything about him. He's a Norwegian film director. He directed Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. He was showing up everybody dreams.
Yeah.
Again, it all makes sense.
Yeah. We need to get in at A24.
Yeah, A24 is
that
doing
spot.
the thing.
We got some ideas, A24.
Yeah.
We got some things.
We got some things.
Let
A24.
us know, baby.
But yeah. That's a little bit of the background that I had. This movie is a dark comedy.
Yeah.
So, did you have any other little tidbits you wanted to add before we jump into?
Well, we'll talk about sound and design and stuff like that. I will say, when it comes to like the background of this film, there was a lot of like shake up and stuff like that as far as like leaking what the twist is.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, in the trailers, the idea is they're going to say the worst things that they've ever done.
Exactly. It's a bit of a round table between Zendaya and Robert and their friend couple.
Their friend couple played by
the best man,
Alana Haim and Mamadou Ati.
Okay.
So, it has it apparently got leaked before the film even was released. The film is out now, so of course it's even easier to find.
Right.
Please, if you're going to look at the film, do not look for it. Do not look it up. Yeah. This will be a spoiler-free review in that regard. We will not tell you what was revealed, and we will not tell you what she did. I may say some things that she didn't do. But other than that, watch it for yourself. And I'm extremely interested. And if you've watched it, in the comments, I want a simple yes or no. If you put spoilers, honestly, your comment may be deleted. I know. who am I to say I'm making these type of threats?
Ah!
But I'm really of the Really and Deli podcast. But I want to know, yes or no, do you think her confession warranted the foolishness? Now, I'm pretty sure it is split. There's going to be some people who are staunchly against no. There are going to be some people who are staunchly towards a yes. But I want a simple yes or no. Do you think that, it was that bad? Because I'm very, very curious.
I mean, I would be really interested to hear as well, like what people actually think. I did see that this is a quote unquote controversial film now because of the subject matter. And I just see it. I see it more as just a dark comedy. I didn't really think that much of it, but maybe because of my life circumstances, maybe that's why.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I would definitely love to hear people weigh in. I might have to go watch some other reviews too after this, just to see what everybody else is saying.
Absolutely.
Because I would be very interested to see if they think her reveal is warrants all the aftermath.
And that's another thing I want to make sure. I don't think we've ever said it, but like we don't watch other people's reviews. We barely watch the trailer of the film before we go watch the film.
Yeah.
And we don't watch reviews of other people.
Right.
The most we might see is like when we're like compiling the stuff of like the directors and everything. They might give like a Rotten Tomato score, and we'll see that like literally as we're sitting here after we've already done the work and created our notes.
Right.
But yeah, our views are always our own. We're excited to hear what your takes and views are.
Absolutely.
Okay. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the film in our four main categories. First being overall story and concept. Second being acting and dialogue. Third being cinematography, and fourth being sound design. Okay. And we might give a little synopsis, which we basically did.
We already did.
What did you give the story for this film?
So for the story, I think a lot of this goes into the kind of like the marketing as well, because it was really a big draw for this movie is like, what exactly did she do? Because they all revealed the worst thing that they did, and then when it gets to her, it's like a screeching halt. I gave the story a 9 though.
Okay.
Because of that draw and like exactly what this is. I think it is a movie that discusses morality and accountability, and it's like I like to explore that. I think it's a movie that starts discussions, and I love that, and that's part of the story. I also like the way the story unfolds. It's very because you have to kind of you're taken back to the past through glimpses and sounds, and to kind of see where she was when all this went down. Yeah. The baddest thing that she's ever done. The worst thing that she's ever done.
Exactly.
So I really like that aspect of it. Just the kind of way it's unfolded. Because, there's always, even the worst thing, the absolutely, there's very few things that a person can do and there's no rhyme or reason. Right. There's always, whether that rhyme or reason justifies what they did, there's always something beneath. Yeah. I think that was one of my biggest draws to psychology when I was younger, and I wanted to be a psychiatrist. Hell, I still might be. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's the thing. Because it's there's always a root something, and whether you realize that or not, that it's still there. Yeah. And again, whether it justifies the means or not, it's still there, and that's what sparks. I think you have to be kind of understanding as to I see how you got there.
Yeah. I give it an 8.
Okay.
And I debated giving it lower. For me, at the beginning of the film, in 2 different sections, I put one word, and it wasn't nice.
You want to say it?
It was trash.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can see.
But this is the truth of the matter, right? Mm-hmm. Some of the things that were very maddening for me in watching this film was just so we have this dynamic, right? Mm-hmm. We have 2 interracial couples. We have a biracial black woman, and we have a black man, and we have a white woman and a white man. And just as they go around the circle saying the things that were done and everything like that, I would be remiss to think that it wasn't done intentionally. Who said what, who did what, and how all of their confessions were treated.
Right. I like the way you put that. We are trying not. We're trying not to tell you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do think there's a person in that group that did something worse.
Horrifically worse. It boiled my blood. I was so pissed off. And I have to assume that's part of the dialogue of it all.
Yeah.
Before we saw the film, Chanel, of course, Deli, was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see what she's done. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be like something crazy." And I said, I am almost certain it will not be. I'm almost certain. I said this heifer better be in the Epstein files.
Oh,
she had for the way these motherfuckers was carrying on. I was like, I want bodies. I want her to be a war criminal. I want it to be bad. I wanna not be able to look at Zendaya after watching this film and to be confused and warped for years and be like, I fucking hate that girl.
Why don't want
and
all
you're
that?
like, what did she do? I'm like, you don't remember when she put a school bus full of kids and put them on a spaceship and blew them up and sent them to the moon? And you like, baby, that was the drama.
That was a movie.
Zendaya never did that. And I'm like, oh, damn, she did a real good job. That was crazy.
And that is real life, because you do be holding grudges against people for stuff they did in a role.
Oh, my goodness.
They never actually did that. That was acting.
Oh, my goodness. That is
years.
You understand? For years, these people I've detested. And I'm like, you don't remember when they did so-and-so? And you're like, in the movie? And I'll be like, oh shit, that's true. My bad. You're not a villain. That's what I wanted. Yeah. And some of you may feel that.
Some of you may feel that. Yeah. That. Because it is horrible. It is terrible. I will say that. It is terrible.
Bad. Terrible is a big word. And I'm so glad that we have this different opinion. Yeah. Because I don't think. And maybe we'll do, after this film is out for a while, if you have any questions on why I think the way I do, we can have a very big open discussion on it. But, no. But, so that was one of my things. I felt a little like I wanted mayhem. And then the delivery of the secret and all of that type of stuff and how it was shown, I feel like there was two ways they could have done it. Yeah. And I feel like the way that they chose was the best way that they could do it for this and the type of film that they were going after. And to show like the flashbacks of why she did what she did, who she really was, how she became who she is now. The only other thing, and I don't know how they would have done it, would have been if when they're all confessing, what I would have really loved, and they would have given it a 10 for me, especially with A24, is if it's one of those moments and it's like a busy restaurant or something, and while they're talking, all you hear is the clamor of everyone, and you could see the reaction in their faces and eyes, and we don't even hear what she's done until the wedding scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a very interesting way to do it too, and that would have held that suspense throughout the whole movie. Throughout
the whole film.
That whole intrigue from the trailer, you would have held that throughout the whole time, because you learned this pretty early.
You learned it
because the whole movie is pretty much centered around the fallout.
Yeah, and then but even to know what she did, right? They could have still done the same thing, the same confession, and still given us the back. So, like, we're left with the assumption of, like, how everything played out, how far it went, what got her there, and then we get the exact play-by-play at the wedding in a full tearful breakdown.
Oh.
And then, I mean, the only thing is because now you waited until like the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes to tell you exactly how it like panned out. It would either like really drive it over the edge or really be like, all of that.
I feel like that's what you would have been like.
But the artistic element of it could have been, and then I would have had less time to sit in the anger of how other people were treating her. Because I knew exactly what was done. Right away, I had time to stew in just like the characters' behaviors and responses to this. You know? But with more of an assumption of what was said, then I could maybe I could have been on other people's sides. Maybe I would have supported the hate towards her,
right?
And then maybe I would have flipped at the end. Oh, who knows? But that's just something that I thought could have been an interesting way to deliver this same movie and message. But ultimately, at 8. I think this is the most I'm gonna have to say about any section. So I wanted to make sure I take my time because it's important. All right,
it is. You feel great. So, but no, okay. I definitely understand what you're saying. And I guess you got to get all your cards out now.
Have to.
But so I guess we'll go on to acting and dialogue. For acting and dialogue, I gave it a 10. Because these people are coming through. We have Zendaya again as Emma, Robert Pattinson as Charlie, Alana Haim as Rachel, Emma's maid of honor. We have, what's that, Mamoudou Athie? I love that, Mamoudou Athie, that's good. Mike, that's Charlie's best man. And Charlie and, Rachel and Mike are in a relationship. So it's like a double couple situation.
Yeah.
As we alluded to earlier with the interracial thing. Everybody did really good. I love the neurotic everything of Robert Pattinson in this. He's so chaotic. And listen, I love a bitch on the edge, frazzled, wig shot out. You know, I love all that. And you know what? Alana Haim did a great job because she evoked emotions.
I wanted somebody to suplex that bitch.
And Zendaya did really well, also obviously, because she does a really good job of like carrying this burden, and the way she's so vulnerable, and the way she delivers it, and then she immediately tries to like, I shouldn't even know what to do because the response that she got was just so rough. It's so aggressive compared to the other confessions at the table that she's like, oh shit. wait a minute. And I think that I do think that she was chosen for this, or maybe she auditioned for. I don't know how she got this role, but I think she's the perfect person for this role because she's America's sweetheart. She's adored. Yeah. So it's like, oh, she did something terrible. Ooh, nasty. Yeah. And Mamoudou Athie is phenomenal as well. Yeah. Kind of like a voice of reason, the grounded one. He's trying to keep the peace, but he's torn between his best friend Charlie and his wife. I think they're married. Yeah, his wife, Rachel. As far as to like where to go, because Rachel's like, no, I'm done. Yeah. And Charlie has that conflict too of like, I love this person, and that goes to the thing too. A side note, it's like you never really know a person. I've heard that before. Like you never really know a person, and I've also heard that the CIA or FBI, when they're doing like covert, like undercover shit, and they're trying to get involved with somebody's life, they're like you have like 3 or 4 different stages of your life. Your life at any given point. Like you have the public face, then you have like your face with your friends and family, then you have your face with your like partner, and then there's an inner face that nobody knows about. Yeah. And that's where they want to get. When they're being on some operations, they want to get to that inner thing. Yeah. So this kind of talks about that in a way because it's like, do you ever really know a person fully? Yeah. Like every single thing? It's nearly impossible to know every single thing. And then some things that people think are not that important, other people think are like, oh, you know. Yeah. I definitely think she thought this was bad, but I didn't think she realized just how bad other people would think it was.
Right.
But yeah, there's definitely a shout out to Zendaya because she was everything in this, and they did a really good job of just showing the struggle of their couple after all this stuff happens, and then Charlie's trying to reconcile. He's trying to reconcile. This is the woman that I love and I'm gonna marry, but now this.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of his thing too is the reception of others.
Right.
I think if it was just them two together,
he would have been fine.
He would have been fine
a lot sooner than he was.
Yeah. But yeah, I gave the acting a 10. I also, little tidbit, I love their little meet cute. How they meet each other, and I like the device that's used here, where they you kind of relive or live their relationship through a wedding speech that Charlie is preparing, as well as Emma. Emma's working on a speech too. Yeah. So you kind of see the memories and learn who they are through that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I give acting and dialogue a 7.
Okay.
And I give it a 7 mainly based off of the direction. I feel like that for the choice of how the characters were portrayed, I think the performance was a 10. But I don't think that it was the best direction to give these characters, or what would have been the most interesting, or what I personally wanted. So I give it a 7.
Okay.
And let me explain. So let's first start off. I feel like the supporting cast gave what they needed to give, and even like Alana Haim, I think most of them for Licorice Pizza. When I say hate, I want Emma to like double roundhouse kick her in the jaw. Like, she was very much pissing me off, and I think that's exactly who she was supposed to be.
I think she was.
And just like, but you know, the part that made me even more mad is that it's gonna be a gaggle of bitches who are exactly like her, who see her, hear her, receives her, and it's just like Rachel was so right, like you know, and
that's the joy of it, I think. For me,
I know, but I just have to feel. So that's why, like, as much as it makes me upset, yes, perfect. Mamadou Athie, who you guys may know as Wade Ripple from the Pixar film Elementals, in that leading voice acting role, he did a very good job of playing another disgusting archetype of the like enabler, you know, because there's moments where he could rein in his wife and cannot. And the dynamic of like that interracial couple, black man, white wife, the dynamics of like the way that she handles certain things, some would even say Karen-esque, and his level of subservience and enabling of her behavior is again real. It's very frustrating to watch, but they did it well. He tried to be the best friend, but still the best husband to his wife at the same time, despite knowing that like lines were being crossed in her behavior and her delivery and understanding of the situation. The dynamic was also pretty good to watch devolve between, you know, the friends and them and Robert's character, Charlie. Robert Pattinson, you know, Charlie is a mix of like our latest Batman that we received, just a little bit in a different way, because he's quirky to say the very least, and kind of fragmented in his personality, and really just not his own person. Not fully, where he really is dependent on what other people think. And then I think my biggest desire was to see Zendaya as a different type of character. I think that she plays the solemn, quirky girl really well. I did not see the tennis film.
Oh, Challengers.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to see that, but I haven't.
I didn't see it, and I know that she served cunt a bit more in that. Okay. The one thing that I like Emma, because of her childhood and that horrific thing that she did growing up, is still walking around with sort of an invisible scar that really affects how she walks through the world. And she is a bit of a wallflower. She is a little bit spicy and spunky, especially compared to Charlie. But especially once this comes out, you can see the shrinking violet nature in her and the just softness. And what I would have found exhilarating to see would have been her just been the most vivacious cunt. Not really giving a fuck about what she did and really give them bitches a reason to be mad. I wanted Rachel to have a reason to find her disgusting, not only for what she did, but the fact that who she is today is very like, and what of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's moments where you see, I think it's really good. He's describing Emma in certain ways, right? And he becomes her.
Yeah.
Right? Her ridiculous laugh. He gets like a nervous tick of a fucking laugh throughout the film. Her weeping and crying. He starts getting crying fits. You know what I mean?
Think about that.
The throwing up. He fucking...
That is
the
true.
thing. So like, there was these subtle things that's in there that makes the writing really good and really smart.
Yeah.
The film, they get to the point where like, I won't tell you exactly what it is, but they're at the photographer. The dialogue is whip smart. It is super funny.
Shout out to Zoe Winters.
Shout out to Zoe
as
Winters.
Frances, the wedding photographer.
Listen, I know her. I know who she is. She could have been Amanda Lehan Canto, also from Smosh. She reminds me of my manager from Cutco. It's like, she's really sweet. She's really busy. She can sense that something is off. And just everything that she's trying to fix it's so good. And it's like, it was just really just satisfying to watch and really fun. It really is a funny film.
It is a dark comedy. I definitely think it is. You know, I think it's funny. I think it's funny. There's some laugh out loud moments. It's very awkward.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's uncomfortable. But for me, you know, and I may have been kind of swayed by just recently watching Forbidden Fruits, but I want a little more country. I want a little more...
Yeah, I see.
I'm a little more sass.
That's not what it is.
I want a little more confidence.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying though. If she was walking around like Apple.
Yeah.
And but that would have been a whole different movie. And that probably would have had a whole different set of backlash.
I wanted her to be like, the bitch who threw that shoe at George Bush was me, bitch. And what you gonna do about it? I don't care.
Somebody threw a shoe at him?
Was it Bush or Clinton? It was Bush.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got arrested.
I'll let you tell that story.
But I wanted her to really just give me passion and rage and confidence. But that's not who the character is.
Right.
And they all gave stellar performances, but for me, I think that the dialogue that was given and the direction of who the character was, I didn't necessarily found favorable, and I don't think it was the most enjoyable direction the character could have gone in. So.
I mean, yeah, that's true. She does have a line, you know, that she wasn't pretty yet, so she was going through a lot. Also, those are something that also fucked me up because, like,
imagine me being casted, right? Imagine somebody's in a movie just like, you know, I was really ugly as a kid, and then I'm casted as a young ugly one. Release me.
I mean,
you know?
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't, you know, hold any bearing. I have heard of situations where that does hold some bearing.
Growing pains.
Oh, okay. But no, I have heard some situations, but hopefully this isn't one of those cases.
Yeah.
But I can see how, you know, that could be something.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Any other tidbits on acting and dialogue before we go?
I already stopped.
You already stopped?
And I'm gonna cut that out. Go ahead.
Cinematography. Oh, y'all can't see that. He just jumped at me. He just bucked at me.
I'm cutting that too.
Oh, ooh, excuse me. So yeah, cinematography. Cinematography, I gave a 10. Y'all know I'm a sucker for a good, centered, balanced shot. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of great shots in this movie. The big thing for me with the cinematography though is like these stylized images and shots. Whenever there's like these intrusive thoughts from Charlie, because again, Charlie's super neurotic, so he has these moments where you're like, I don't even know if that was. There was one moment in particular, a conversation where I was like, I don't even know if that's even real. And in that case, Emma was thinking. So both of them do.
Exactly.
Both of them do a thing where they think what's happening. They can't see what's happening in a certain scenario. So they're thinking about it. And so it's like super heightened and exaggerated. And I wouldn't say super heightened and exaggerated, but it is exaggerated. Because we're not saying like it's animated. Huge things like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's really crazy. Not crazy, but good. Crazy good. Yeah. And I think you probably can relate.
You. What?
No.
How I got
you don't think you have thoughts like that, and it's like you immediately jump to like the craziest scenario.
Yes, I'm just caught off guard.
I grabbed him grabbed Redley by the arm and threw him in.
Ain't this
in front
you,
of the
bitch?
people.
Ain't you fucking nuts?
Ain't you?
You delusional motherfucker. Well,
but that part of that cinematography, it was
relatable.
Okay.
How you gonna speak for me?
I am so sorry. I didn't get you out there.
That is one of the things I actually really did enjoy about the film.
Yeah.
Is because this film is, once she says what she says, she doesn't give that much detail. Yeah. And we have Charlie grappling with getting the real nitty gritty on what's happening, and then also believing whatever she says from there. And that's depicted very well in these tiny little quick cut vignettes of like, did that happen? Is this happening? And then watching Emma sink into a kind of state of paranoia on, can she trust Charlie with the truth, as well as their friends? Yeah. And then like, how is this being expanded in their friend group, or who else knows, or like what he's saying about her or thinking about her. And then like we have different things, like there's a personal item that he throws away of hers.
Oh yeah.
That like seems innocuous at first, but then makes him think of that thing that she did.
And I do think it's interesting that he never thought she was lying. Like when he would probe her more about this information about what happened. He never thought she was lying.
He never thought she was lying, but he also didn't think she had a good, valid reason. And that was the different thing of the explanation, right? So you can either be faced with somebody thinking that you're lying about how far you did or everything you've given. There were a couple of times he was just like, and that's all. Right? So that could be perceived as him thinking she's lying. But really what it is, it's him trying to like justify her actions and not thinking that they were quite justifiable. When, other people have done worse for less.
Yeah.
And it's always justified.
Less.
And yes. But yeah, he did step on her in those particular ways, you know? Yeah. And there's a moment where she confronts him and I was like, all right, sister, let's shake these motherfuckers up. Yeah. And I do think there was like a good building action, but not to the level of like, full Phoenix Force energy that I wanted. But I think knowing that, Ari Aster is a part of this makes 1,000,000% sense. Like, and that whole duo with Square Pegs who worked on Hereditary and, this film, it's shot in a way we had a similar conversation when we talked about animations and we talked about GOAT, right? And what Sony is doing. A24 has a particular lens that is used, and
pun
they don't
intended or pun not intended.
Intended.
Okay.
That gives it a fingerprint, right?
Yeah,
even when you see the start of an A24 trailer before you see that A24 on it, there's a certain boop boop beep beep in the music that's played in their trailers. There's a certain graininess.
Yeah.
There's a certain shot composition.
True.
And then the music kicks in, and then you see the A24. Every single time, haven't you gone? Oh, there she go. Because we know that's A24.
Right.
In the best way.
Yeah.
And it's not something that's like so heavy that like immediately you can have like an inkling that this is going to be an A24 film. And then once it's revealed it is, you're like, makes complete sense. I see the vision. I see the lineup. Right. And that's because it's being done well. Yeah. I think it's very successful. Yeah. So for me, I give their cinematography a 9.
Okay.
It didn't have like super crazy out there anything, but it was in the pocket, so expertly well done. I did want a little bit more of those like reality shifting moments of their beliefs or not.
Yeah.
Like, is this really happening? Her paranoia.
It's kind of like a moment.
Anxiety.
When they do it, it's so seamless. It's like, is that real?
Yeah.
So yeah,
that would have been.
They get a little bit more ridiculous as it goes. A little more easily seen that it's not real.
Yeah.
But one of the first ones, I was like, wait, is that
exactly?
What? But yeah. So okay, moving on to sound design. Sound design, I gave a 10. And they do a really good job of like little sounds and stuff. We always have to talk about those too. Well, if they do it, but her like cutting. There's a scene with her cutting vegetables. You hear all the click clack of those vegetables and that knife and everything. But really a shout out to Daniel Pemberton. Honey, when them flutes get to going, them flutes, them woodwinds are coming.
Yeah.
The drama.
And it's sort of a reunion of sorts. Let me see. Well, not actually a reunion, but him and Zendaya have like a connection.
Okay.
Without them being super connected, because she's in the MCU Spider-Man films,
right?
And he actually worked on the Sony Into the Spider-Verse film.
Yeah,
he worked on the scores for Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we got a little Spider-Man connection. Also, we got two people who worked on very big superhero films in this. So, very cool.
Things are going on.
Yeah. But he did a great job.
So good.
I gave it an 8, but just because there's one great moment that like we talked about it. The photography scene. Let me tell you.
You don't want to talk about the song? You're just gonna leave it?
Oh!
I mean, do you
actually, I'm not gonna say.
Okay, I love that.
Let me tell you, right? I had my face screwed up. Once we hit the wedding photo shoot scene, in my notes, I was like, this makes the entire film worthwhile. Yeah. And then, truthfully, the film just kept getting better, honestly.
Yeah.
And what even certain things where I was like, this is in a direction that I wanted. It all made sense. The dialogue just kept getting better because it got more involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the shots of it, and they were acting down too.
Yeah, they were.
They
were. You have to act like it's awkward. You have to act like there's tension, there's drama.
The zone out,
and it was so subtle
that Charlie did, and you could tell that he's like not there. And then we have a similar something that happens in the wedding, so that helps the cinematography. But the sound design too, they chose a very. I don't even know if it's a popular song. I will say it's an Alicia Keys song. And it was so funny because I was literally listening to that song driving up to the theater.
Yeah.
That song was playing driving up to the theater.
Yeah.
And then to get in, I screamed so loud because it's one of the funniest things I've watched this month. That scene, I would rewatch this whole movie just to re-experience that right now.
Thinking back over the whole thing, I do want to rewatch it.
Yeah. I do actually now, because there's so many things that I think that can only be really gotten upon rewatching it again.
Yeah.
And watching little subtleties and stuff like that and really soaking up the design of it. And I do want to listen more. I know there was a great score, but for instance, we just saw a film last night, You, Me, and Tuscany, that uses music in a different way. Where that movie is kind of like The GOAT, where there's a dedicated soundtrack that is underscoring the actions perfectly with either the title of the song or the lyrics that's happening on the screen. This film really wasn't like that, and I don't expect that from something like A24. But I did want a little bit more musical elements, I would say.
Oh, okay.
But I do think it was good. I think it was really good. Could be a little bit higher, but I felt like an 8 was where it was at for me. Just when I look at like other things that I've given things a 10, like They Will Kill You and stuff like that, shit that like gave me like a physical. This moved me.
Them flukes got my ass. Them wins, they got me.
And I feel like that's like a signature like A24 vibe. It's so like eerie. And it's so absurd. It's something whimsical and dark about it. It is beautiful.
It is. It's really
But
nice.
the photography scene,
that is probably a peak scene of the movie for both of us. And
good.
It was wild.
so good.
Yeah, definitely. So my overall was a 9.75. What's your overall?
My overall is at 8. A flat out 8.
Flat out 8.
And I feel good about that.
You should.
I really do. I think that. Do you?
Do you?
I think that this film was honestly beautifully shot, of course. The cast came to perform. And gave us characters as likable or unlikable as they are and as they were designed to be. And I think that, like, at face value, it's just about these friends and the confessions and what she did. But I think the real commentary is the reaction and the response to her and her actions.
Exactly.
The reaction and response of everyone in that group who made a confession, keeping into consideration everybody's genders, their ages when they committed their offenses, because everybody with different ages doing different things, who their victims were. Okay. And then how they're perceived today and expected to be accepted. You understand? And the level of victimhood that some of the people at the table who were offenders actually decided to claim, and not even for themselves, but for other people, and that type of hypocrisy that exists today. It's a lot bigger of a commentary than just what was done.
That's what I was saying.
A24, I think, is always going to give it to you.
They are going to give it to you.
And I definitely would recommend this being a film that you go out there and watch. Go out there and support Zendaya. Robert Pattinson, as absurd as I find him, I'd have to remind myself that, like, he is a phenomenal actor.
He is a phenomenal actor.
Mickey 17
I was about to
great.
say the same thing. We watched Mickey 17. We really love him in everything that he's in.
The Lighthouse.
Yes.
Yeah, the most absurd thing he ever did was Tenet. And he can't be held responsible for that. So, yeah.
Well, on that note, please like, share, subscribe.
Comment below.
Let us know again if you think the backlash
was valid. Yes.
Was valid for Emma.
Do you think what she did was that damn bad?
Yes or no. Simple yes or no.
Make sure that you are sending this to all your family and friends. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. We just went up again to number 43. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the love and support. Make sure that you check us out everywhere and tune in for a Reddit Reads. We had a Reddit Reads that we dropped on Friday where, we give some phenomenal relationship advice.
We are giving relationship advice, you guys.
That is not legally pending. We can't be held responsible for any of your actions.
Right. Please.
And then we're doing Wildcard Wednesdays this month. halfway to Halloween.
Halfway to Halloween.
Forbidden
Shout out to Shudder. Halfway to Halloween.
And we have another one coming out this Wednesday.
We do.
Okay?
Oh, is that the request?
Yes.
Yes, the request. We're getting to the request.
Finally, we got a request submitted from Deborah back in, I think, like November.
So sorry, Deborah.
Or October.
It's taking us so long. We are going to get to
November. Yeah, so we're finally getting to that.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for everything. I hope you have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.